My boyfriend humiliated me in front of his friends, left me with a $347 bill, and lied about his life. I can't believe I'm writing this, but last weekend completely shattered my understanding of my relationship. Ryan and I had been together for 2 years, 2 whole years, so I thought I knew him. We had our routines. Netflix marathons on Sundays, awkward holiday dinners with both families, even trying that weird couples yoga class. Things weren't perfect, but I thought we were solid. We had plans to move in together this summer. We talked about it at least. Sure, he had his quirks, like leaving socks everywhere, constantly texting during movies, and offering helpful comments about my appearance like, "That shirt makes your arms look bigger," or "Have you thought about trying a different hairstyle?" I brushed it off as him being honest. I didn't think it was a big deal, but last Friday Ryan invited me to dinner with some of his work friends. I was actually excited. He'd never really included me in his work life before, always claiming it was unprofessional to mix work and personal. I thought maybe this was a good sign. So I went shopping, spent a little more than I should have, and got all dressed up. Full makeup, fancy straightener, the works. I showed up at this fancy restaurant downtown, the kind with tiny portions and no prices on the menu. Red flag number 1. Ryan was already there with two of his colleagues, Leonard and Pablo. The vibe was weird from the start. Ryan barely acknowledged me, just muttering, "You're late," when I walked up, despite being just 2 minutes late because parking was a nightmare. Then he looked me up and down and said, "Oh, you wore that?" It wasn't even a crazy outfit. I thought I looked nice in a dark blue dress. The weird looks his friends exchanged didn't help, and I started to feel small. I tried to joke it off, asking if there was a dress code I missed, but Ryan just shrugged and said, "They already ordered appetizers." For the next hour, I felt like a ghost. Ryan and his friends dominated the conversation, talking about work stuff I didn't understand. Every time I tried to chime in, he either talked over me or explained why I was wrong. At one point, when I mentioned a customer at my store, Ryan casually said, "She doesn't really get how things work in the real business world," as if retail wasn't a real job. I've been a manager for 3 years, by the way. And then Leonard asked how we met. And when I started to tell the story, Ryan interrupted me, saying, "Yeah, Vanessa felt bad for her. I was doing a favor, really. That's not at all how it happened." Vanessa had warned me about Ryan's ego, but said he was a good guy underneath it all. I'd clearly missed the memo. I excused myself to the bathroom to cry without them hearing. In the stall, I texted Vanessa, "What's happening? WT." Then while I was trying to pull myself together, I saw that Ryan had tagged himself at the restaurant on Instagram, without tagging me, of course. He had posted "Boys' Night Out," as if I wasn't even there. I went back to the table, trying to pull myself together, but things only got worse. Ryan started making jokes about my food choice. I ordered pasta, a more affordable option, and Ryan kept cracking jokes like, "Carbo loading for a marathon," and "Bold choice for someone with your body type." Each comment felt like a paper cut, and they were piling up fast. At this point, I just wanted to leave. Then it got worse. Ryan launched into this story about how he was basically running a big project at work. The week before, he had been stressing about his presentation, saying he was nervous. Now suddenly he was the star of the show. His whole narrative had shifted, and it felt like he was living in a parallel universe where he was the main character. Then came the bill. Ryan picked it up, looked at it for a second, and then slid it over to me. I thought maybe he was showing me the total, but no. He said, "I don't think this is working. I've been trying to make this work, but I'm just not attracted to you anymore. We should break up." In front of his friends, at a restaurant. After 2 years, he stood up, grabbed his jacket and said, "A girl like you should be grateful I even dated you this long. You're not exactly a prize." Then he walked out with his friends, leaving me with a $347 bill for their overpriced appetizers and cocktails. I paid, and when I got to my car, I called Vanessa, sobbing. She came straight to my place with a pint of Ben & Jerry's and a bottle of wine. After I finished crying and stress eating, she told me something that changed everything. Ryan wasn't who he said he was. Edit. Thank you all for the kind messages of support. I'm still in shock about what happened, but I'm trying to stay strong. Some of you have asked if I plan to confront Ryan. Honestly, I don't know yet. I'll update soon. First update. After finding out from Vanessa that Ryan had been lying about almost everything, I fell into that awful post-breakup fog. I spent the next few days crying over old photos and wondering how I didn't see all the red flags. My apartment was a mess, filled with empty DoorDash bags because cooking felt impossible. My credit card was maxed out, and I kept having moments where I'd almost text Ryan. Then I'd remember what he did and the wound would reopen. On Wednesday, I caved and checked Instagram. Sure enough, Ryan had posted a gym selfie with the caption, "Level up, know your worth." I nearly threw my phone across the room. The audacity. That night, Vanessa came over with more food and found me wrapped in a comforter, feeling sorry for myself. She showed me texts with Cody, a guy who worked with Ryan. Cody had been spilling some serious tea. Apparently, Ryan wasn't the hotshot marketing guy he claimed to be. He was just an assistant, making coffee runs and scheduling meetings. All his business trips, complete fabrications. His job, totally fake. He had a fancy title on LinkedIn, but it was all for show. Ryan was also on probation for taking credit for other people's work. My mind was blown. I had been living a lie. Edit. Thank you everyone for reaching out and sharing your experiences. I never thought someone I trusted for so long could lie like this. I'm starting to feel more at peace with everything, but this situation is still wild. Final update. After all the lies came crashing down, I decided to go to Ryan's birthday dinner. Yes, you read that right. I wasn't going to let him make me the villain in front of his family. When I got there, I was ready. I knew his family didn't deserve to be lied to. and I wasn't going to let Ryan save face. I walked in, and the look on his face was priceless. He immediately froze when he saw me. I made sure everyone knew the truth, calmly explaining how Ryan had humiliated me and lied about his job. His mom, Tina, had no idea, and she was mortified. Ryan's dad was upset, and his sister Kayla looked disappointed. I didn't get angry. I didn't raise my voice. I just told them the truth. Ryan tried to interrupt and make excuses, but it was too late. The whole family saw through his lie. By the end of the night, he was the one who was humiliated, not me. I left with my head held high, knowing I had stood up for myself and taken control of the narrative. Ryan hasn't contacted me since that night. I don't know what's next, but I'm finally starting to feel like myself again.